New Zealand Dairy Farmer is proudly brought to you by Hanson Products, providing Kiwi farmers with water system solutions for over 50 years. The Dairy Women's Network was established in 1998 by New Zealand dairying women. The network's purpose is to develop and educate rural women to add value to the business of dairying. Increasingly, the network has become an influential industry participant and attracts significant support from sponsors and dairying organisations.
Sarah, how has the role of women in dairying changed in recent years?
To be honest, Glenys, I don't think it has. I think what's happened is that women are far more recognised as playing a valuable role in the business, and I guess as farm businesses have got bigger, the kind of roles they play, particularly on the administrative side, have taken more of a front seat rather than a back seat.
What sort of pressures do women face out there on dairy farms that they didn't face years ago?
I think a recurring theme amongst women is the compliance costs, and I'm talking about costs not necessarily in monetary terms but in time and in energy, those kind of things. And obviously debt levels are coming down nationally, but still a lot of farmers that are very concerned about volatility of payout and trying to make sure that they can cover their debt and farm sustainably as well.
How do you see the dairy woman of the future, say looking forward 10, 20 years or so?
I imagine that she's going to be seen even more as an equal partner and recognised for the skills she brings to the farming business, whether that be out on the farm or in the office. Someone with quite a lot of business acumen, business savvy, and someone who can obviously communicate in any forum about the issues facing their business without worrying about whether she's a man or a woman. That's what we'd like to see. And
so for young women coming forward, like Katherine Tucker, they've got a lot to look forward to in the dairy industry.
Yes, I hope they have, and I would like to think that organisations like ours can support them in their journey by providing opportunities to connect with other like-minded women who are facing similar challenges, and opportunities to increase their knowledge around various subjects in an environment that suits them at a time that suits them.
The depopulation of our rural communities, particularly among younger people, is a known quantity, which makes Katherine's decision to work the family farm at Te Pora even more unusual. Fortunately for both her and her family, it's not a lifestyle that she seems in a hurry to leave behind.
So what do you enjoy most about the dairy farming life, Katherine?
Most of all, it's just outside, working with the cows, and it's a bit of a lifestyle. It's hard work at times of the year, but I just like doing the variety of things, really. I'm quite lucky on this farm. We do the cropping, we do a lot of the work ourselves, so I get to milk the cows and drive the tractor and see the maize grow and get involved with all the technical side of it as well. So it's just the variety of things. It's not the same every day.
What about your future plans, the next 5 or 10 years or so?
I think my next 5-year plan, well, I've got 4 years left in Young Farmers before I age out, so I'm going to give the contest another crack, and my goal is to obviously win the grand final. So I'm organising this year, and I'll give it a year, maybe 2, and then I'll have another crack at that. Travel a wee bit as well. I've got a couple of countries that I'd love to go and see. Just been to Japan, so that's one tick off the list.
Are you keen to look at dairying overseas? Seeing how dairy farmers in other countries
I contemplated doing a exchange type thing, but I think I'll just do a holiday and have a nosy. I'm always interested in what other people are doing, and you can bring stuff back and modify it, and what works and what doesn't work. So the big operations you can learn a lot from, especially we put in a reasonable bit of supplement here, so overseas being all housed in most places, it's has similarities, so you can learn a lot on that side of things.
And what is your total production forecast for this season, based on the fact that, as you say, you've had quite a bit of dry weather? Have you had to scale that back a bit from what you had hoped for?
Well, we were hoping to do the same or better than last year, which was about 280, just over 1,000 milk solids. We did just on 450 a cow last year and 405 the year before. So we're hoping this year to keep over the 400 a cow, but it really depends if it rains or not as to how fast they go dry. They're holding at the moment, but it just means putting an extra supplement to keep them going. So the cost per milk solid goes up.
And can you tell me a bit about your effluent system here? You've got a pond system, or you spray onto an effluent block?
At the moment we've just upgraded and we've got it going into what we call a weeping wall. So we've built a concrete bunker with a slatted wall at the front, and it takes all the solids out of the effluent, and then the water gets sprayed onto the nearby paddocks with a standard irrigator, and we scrape out the solids, put it into a cart and spread it onto further away paddocks, usually the maize ground. So we've got one side to do when this maize comes off, it'll go on the maize ground, put a bit of nutrients back on the hills.
What's your favourite job?
Favourite job? I quite enjoy milking the cows. I get a bit sick of it every day, twice a day, so it's good to have a break, but I enjoy going and seeing the young stock and rearing the calves and working with the cows, drenching, that type of thing. That's what I'd prefer to go and do.
So you're really the type of farmer who appreciates their stock?
Oh yeah, you got to look after your stock though. I mean, you can't be a dairy farmer and not like cows. You have to look after your stock and appreciate what they can do. They're quite smart animals, so yeah, you get a few laughs of the predicaments they get themselves in and that, but it's very rewarding, especially when you accomplish your production goals or get the bull in a team, or have the companies looking at your stock or have a good year selling your stock. Getting that profile out there, it's always rewarding when other people appreciate what you've got as well.
Next week on New Zealand Dairy Farmer, we'll talk to John Williams of Matakana. John has a small 50-hectare property on the slopes of Mount Tamahanga, and we'll be talking to him about dairy farmers caring for the environment and complying with council rules. See you then. New Zealand Dairy Farmer is proudly brought to you by Hanson Products, providing Kiwi farmers with water system solutions for over 50 years.